Greetings, it's your host, Mysterious Mystery. I'm back from, well, I didn't really go anywhere. I have my new position at work. Well, not new now, I've had it for a few months. And my school duty and my responsibilities at school have kept me preoccupied. Everything's kind of happening too fast for me, so I'm having a lot of trouble balancing anything outside of school and work. It's not great, but I gotta do some things different every once in a while. Different like this video, talking about my thoughts on the reveal in A Single Pale Rose in Steven Universe. Now, I'm not gonna dabble around the edges, I'm gonna jump right into it. I thought the twist was good and bad. Now, I mean good as in good, I didn't see it coming, as any good twist should be, but bad because it ruins Rose Quartz' character completely. It makes her completely immoral and literally the worst character in the show. And unless the Diamonds do some very messed up stuff in the future, I don't think anything they can do will make it better. Now I want you to follow me on this. She started a war. She begged for a colony. When she got there, she fell in love with the life forms. Alright? She's then started a rebellion under an alias, fought against herself for 1,000 years, then her, sisters? The other Diamonds, let's just say that, for thousands of years until she faked her own death. Now, in that process, things that led... Sorry, kind of twist my words around there for a second. Now, in doing so, she led to things that were, well, out of her control, but also she should have foreseen at some point. She thought the other Diamonds didn't care about her, and that's honestly extremely childish of her. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings, and sometimes I thought my brothers and sisters don't care about me and stuff, but I know they do, despite them being jerks sometimes. They push me to be better, and that's pretty much what they were doing. They stopped accepting her excuses each time she did that, and each time she tried to make excuses, they refused to accept them and kind of pushed her to do her responsibility. Each time she kind of, tried to weasel out of it. So, my first point is something I saw on, it's called The Round Table. Autris Foss was making a video theory or discussion, and the majority of Pink Diamond's gems ended up effective in one way or another, be it slightly off-colored like all the amethysts in the Human Zoo, or lanky like that Jasper in the Human Zoo, or even that Rudolite, the twin Rudolites, or from her section. Now, Autris Foss does a much better video on that, so I suggest you watch that if you already haven't. Now, what this implies is that she messed up her gems, pretty much making them defective before they came out, so they'd be more reliant on her, persona, and rebel. Now, that is easily one of the most messed up things in the show. That is literally the equivalent of smoking or drinking while you're pregnant, so your child will come out defective, and so then they'll be more reliant on you and won't grow to their full potential. And when you think about it, Peridot, she said she can't shapeshift, though her being in her current form is a form of shapeshifting, so I'm not sure why she believes that. I think she can't shapeshift any more than that. Maybe that's why she's so small. Anyway, she said, because there's a lack of resources, so gems are coming out weaker. So Pink Diamond, sorry, I get used to calling her that. Pink Diamond pretty much crippled her own gems, so they'd come out defective, which run down the resources, and Earth was supposed to fix the resource crisis, so she wasted a good deal of the resources. And then she pretty much started a war which wasted more resources. And she hates Jasper, which, think about it, that's like the child, you go into a place where like, it's called the beta kindergarten. It's supposed to be a place where, like, gems aren't supposed to come out, like, a bunch of gems, like, literally every other gem other than Jasper came out wrong in one way or another. Like, came out sideways or smaller than they're supposed to and all that. Jasper's the only one who came out perfect, or as she's supposed to be. Now, my point is that Pink Diamond purposely made sure the majority of her gems came out defective in one way or another, which is extremely messed up. These are your people, you literally, or I guess in a way, her children. She's in charge of making them, and she made sure they came out wrong, or came out defective or injured, and they never live up to their proper potential. Like, yeah, like Amethyst has Amethyst is a bad, I feel like a bad character to compare, but also the perfect example. Like, she's a defect, and she owns it in a way, but she also is ashamed of it. Like how when she wanted to beat Jasper on her own to prove that she's better, because after her talk with Paradox, she found out that she's not supposed to be as small as she is, and all this other stuff. So, yeah. My other point is, like, if she, I've heard a lot of people say she couldn't come out and tell people and, try to inspire the other gems as, Pink Diamond, because, they wouldn't listen to her because she's a diamond. But in a way, if she wanted to be treated as her equal, she has her own following. I'm not sure how big it was, but, I'm sure it was sizable. Anyway, so she then... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is she then pretty much, she could have been inspired the gems. She could have been the leader they followed. And I know they're saying, well, gems like what's called Business would never followed her, and other gems probably wouldn't have either because they hate the diamonds. But in a way, that probably would have been better, because the majority of gems who are the off colors are hiding at the bottom of Homeworld, desperately trying not to get destroyed by those searchers, iRobots. If one of those iRobots find them, they're destroyed. So if there was a diamond championing saying, listen, you're defective, but that doesn't mean you have to die for it, that could go a long way. That could mean who knows how many hundreds or hundreds of thousands of gems are on, because then again, I don't know how big the Gem Empire is, or Gempire. I like that one better. I like the sound of that better. Anyway, we don't know how big it is, but what we do know is that they do have, it spans galaxies, asteroids, and all that. They take everything for resources and stuff. So if there was a diamond championing the defectives and all that, yeah, that could inspire thousands of gems, and she could have changed the system in a major way. But since she decided to go with rebellion, it led to, two things. One, people only kind of side rebellion because rebellions can get violent, and yeah, although she wasn't shattering gems, she was poofing them and causing all this, embarrassing the diamonds and all that, and the other commanders who had to face their diamonds after they failed. So there's that. So she could have become kind of a holy mother if she decided to stand her ground and speak her voice as a diamond instead of a rebel. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, she decided to become a rebel and fake her own death. And what this leads to is thousands of repercussions. If she decided to stand her ground and be pretty much the diamond who stands her ground against the other three, she has Earth within her possession, and what's called Yellow Diamond said Pink Rose Quartz was one of the best strategists that she ever fought against, and she could heal. So with those two things in mind, she was able to keep the war going for thousands of years, which is insane, because I imagine Yellow has a lot of combat experience and she's a lot more war oriented. So Yeah, that's actually saying something. That's rather impressive. So she could have like said, listen, I have this resource-rich planet, and I'm not gonna help you guys until you change the system. I mean, it's not the best way of doing it, but it's something. It's better than what she actually did, which was fake her death, like thinking, oh, yellow and blue won't care. Which brings up a question about White Diamond, but I have a theory on her later. Anyway, and so like afterwards, like pretty much yellow, which led to the aftermath, which leads to pretty much blue blaming herself completely, and yellow, well, kind of denying like she had it, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Kind of a self-denial, like, I had nothing to do with this, none of this was my fault. Which, she's right, but like, she feels responsible since, yes, like, Pink did call yellow and blue for help, and they, in the end, they weren't able to help her, so sure, she's affected by it, she just hides it a lot better than Blue does. But that's another topic for another day. What I'm trying to say is, the way they presented Rose Quartz and Pink Diamond reveal completely ruins her character. She is now a completely immoral and terrible person. And like all her decisions, even though she meant them in the best ways, all went to hell. It's like, because of what she did, like faked her death and all that, the Diamonds released a corruption wave, which I guess in like a single pair of rose, you saw some shattered gems alongside the other gems. So I'm guessing like when they released the corruption wave, it just took out all the gems at the same time. Then when they started to reform, as what's called corrupted gems, like pretty much mentally scarring them in a way. Then like that led to them inserting, like becoming so desperate. Well, no, another thing was them becoming so desperate that they implanted a cluster, and like Paradox says they must have really hastened the process, or like done it kind of too quickly because they just like injected into the beta kindergarten. And yeah, so like she led to the corruption and the force fusions and the cluster, which is an absolute monstrosity, and I can only imagine the absolute worst punishment a gem can go through. Because like gems, when you think about it, I don't think they can really die, because like even when they're shattered, they're like still trying to piece themselves back together, and like their limbs and stuff form, but they can't fix themselves. And like when they're corrupted, they become kind of like, it's like the equivalent of losing your mind and becoming a crazy monster. You don't know what you look like anymore, and so you become something else. And like a force fusion's like just bits of you just hacked together, and jeez. So like when you think about like this, and this is the only rebellion, so like, oh my, so yeah, I don't think like, and there can't ever be another one, because like people said, listen, even after they fought for years and years, inspired thousands and all that, they still lost when the Diamonds fought. And when you think about it, they lost the second White Diamond got involved, because when she got involved was at the end with the corruption wave. That's when the war ended. They like decided to like pretty much try to cleanse the earth and like just move on from it, which in a way none of them have, except for White Diamond. Haven't seen her. I'm really looking forward to her debut. I'll explain why later. But yeah, this, and like Rose Quartz, like she was on Earth for thousands of years, and like when she was talking to Greg, she was like talking to like, it was like she was talking to a puppy. Like when he was trying to explain that he had feelings for her, she was like kind of mocking him, like he was like, oh, you're such a cute doggy, and was like, you've been here for thousands of years, you fought for this planet, for these people supposedly for thousands of years, but when you look at her character behavior and what she says and what she does, it doesn't really look like she's fighting for Earth or the people. It looks like she's fighting because, oh, these guys are cool and I want to destroy them, and that's pretty much where her reasons stop and start. I mean, good intentions are one thing, but like, execution does matter. I don't know, I feel like the way it was done makes her just a terrible person, and I don't think there's anything they can do to fix it at this point, unless they double down to make the diamonds, oh, the worst puppy kicking, blah blah blah, like, cause yes, there's a lot of evidence that the diamonds are terrible people, but like it's like, oh, Homeworld's extremely oppressive, but like, think about it like this, you're thinking that in human terms, so like, humans, when they're born, like, we have a world of possibilities. We can become almost anything within reason. And if we work hard, we train, we study, we can make those dreams reality. A gem, they come out adults. They know exactly why they're here for. They know why they know how to do it. They know why they do it. And that's that. A diamond's made to lead. Quartz is made to fight. A diamond's made to serve. Or sapphire's made to become, like, is that an oracle or a psychic? Because like, if it works in a court, never mind. Anyway, and like, yeah, so like Lapis is terraform, and like agates terrify and stuff. So it's like, you know what you're made for the minute you're there. So like, her whole, oh, you can be anything you want. I'm like, true, but like, and that's a good message too, as well, in a way, to like, their oppressive societies, like, oh, but you can be something else if you don't want to be that. But like, the way she went about it, it's just like, the way it all ended up, it's like, wow, how could, it's like everything that went wrong did go wrong, or something like that. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, pretty much, despite her, I'm just going to say, pure intentions or well-meaningness, she did do a lot more harm than good. And it took her, she said, it took me, in this one episode, I can't remember the name, where I think it's like Greg and the Baby or something. It's like, she said, it took me years to find out that this is different from, that a baby is the same thing as an adult, becomes an adult eventually. She says a gem, like, born knowing what to do and all that. It sounds like she's bored like a teenager, like, oh, I'm bored with this, but I don't know what else to do. It's like, so she like found something, and it's like, this is how she expresses herself, like an artsy teenager. Which makes me think, like, have the other diamonds gone through phases like this? I can't imagine White doing that, and I'll explain later, but like, follow me on this. Like yellow and blue, like, I don't know, kind of becoming infatuated with organic life after a certain point, because like, I'm like, after a certain point, living thousands upon thousands of years with them, I feel like humans were alright, but like, I feel like an immortal stone creature? Gem creature. I like that sound of that better. A mortal gem creature would become bored of Earth eventually, and I don't know, try to do something else. Like Pearl, like, despite her saying, I'll fight for Earth, when she first got her chance, she did try to leave Earth behind. I think the only real reason she stays there is because of Pink Diamond and now, I guess, Steven. Which brings up another theory, what will happen to Steven after he dies. Those are two videos I will make later. What will happen when Steven dies, and what will White Diamond be like? And since the Steven bomb happens next week, like the first week of July 2018, yeah, that should be interesting. Hopefully. Well, that's all I got for this video. For all those who are watching, this has been your host, The Mysterious Mystery. I'll see you next time.